Hey everyone, I'm Jack. It's almost the middle of April and I think it's about time to plant some sunflowers. Normally here in Arkansas, around the first part of April is when you plant sunflowers to get them to bloom around the summer, June, July, August in there. We've had a lot of cold. It's been cloudy and rainy and cold almost all of April. So for today I have my nice hot cup of coffee here. So first things first, take a sip of hot coffee. So before I get these planted, let me tell you a little story. What happened was I bought these Velvet Queen and Dwarf Sunspot sunflower seeds from a company I've never tried, Page's Seeds. We're at a local hardware store. I am not being paid by Page's Seeds. This is not a paid endorsement by them. I figured I would give them a try, and most of them, if not all of them, germinated. So I was really pleased with that. I planted them out in my raised bed that had been kind of converted into a hugelkultur. Most of them, like I said, germinated, and they were up about inch and a half, just getting ready to put on their second set of leaves. When I think it was either slugs or maybe a grasshopper or possibly deer. I did see one morning leaving for work, I saw about 10 deer about 50 feet down from the bed, sitting or standing in the middle of the road. And when I went outside to go to work, I kind of startled them and they took off down into the woods. And so I'm not sure which kind of critter got to them, but what happened was they ate every little sprout that had come up. And I was very sad. So if you see Page's Seeds, what I will tell you is they do germinate well. And this Velvet Queen here is an heirloom variety, which is kind of near and dear to my heart. I do love heirlooms. So what I thought I would do was something a little bit different. I'm going to be planting them in these 6-packs. These were at a local nursery. I just stopped by to see if they had any they could give me, and these were just sitting on the top of the trash. They replant from these 6-packs into bigger pots and then sell them that way. So what I did is I just brought them home and I soaked them in a 1 to 9 bleach solution, 1 part bleach, 9 parts water. I let them soak in there for about an hour, and then I just rinsed them real well to get all that bleach residue out of there. You don't want to reuse these without cleaning them in case there's some kind of disease on the soil or inside these pots that can transfer to your new plants. So it's always a good idea just to kind of get them give them a good cleaning. So I have these plastic trays. They were the ones that came with that clear dome to make a little greenhouse. These work pretty well. I use them mostly inside under grow lights, and it helps keep that humidity in there. And I think what I'm going to do with these is just get them germinated inside because it's been so cold. I was actually surprised that the ones I planted in that bed sprouted because the temperature has been so cold and rainy and nasty. So I think I'm going to give these an even bigger head start and just bring them inside and germinate them under some light and get them up, 3-4 inches tall. Probably by the end of April they'll be ready to transplant outside, and that way they get a nice good head start. These are also Page's. It's a different line called Liberty Garden. There's Autumn Beauty and then Giant Gray Stripe. So I'm going to start with 4 of these 6-packs for now. I have some seed starting mix. It is Jiffy brand. It doesn't really matter the brand that you use, I've found. But one thing I did find out is you kind of want to buy a bag that you can feel that it's not all hard. I bought one from the hardware store where I bought these seeds. The mix was so hard that it just literally repelled the water. As I put some on the pot, the water just kind of beat it up on the top and it just never soaked in. And this one feels a lot better than the other one. I'm pretty sure that this should take the water okay. I had never seen anything like that with the other bag. So you just want to maybe just give it a feel and see if it's, kind of soft and squishy as opposed to hard. So all I'm going to do is take some of this mix and fill these 6-packs. And it is very, very windy today, so of course this mix is going everywhere. I kind of have found that the seed starting mix works really well. It's so light and fluffy. that, you know, it really gives the seeds a chance to germinate and kind of, you know, dig their taproot down into it without having to fight. All right, the last one here. All right, so I think that should be good enough. I think by the time I put the seed in and put some water on it, I think that'll kind of compress down a little bit, and that should be fine. All right, now I've got that tray all cleaned out. And as I was doing that, I glanced over on the table. There was a bunch of twigs and some pollen that had fallen down from some oak trees, kind of right over in this area. And there's this cool little caterpillar, just kind of hanging out, not moving around because it's so darn cold. And I had to show you this caterpillar. If you know what this is, will you let me know? Is it a moth? Is it a butterfly? What type of caterpillar is it? I've never quite seen anyone like that. All right, so I have my 4 containers here, and I will just cut these open and see how many seeds we get in here. Oh, there's quite a few in there. All right, more than I thought. So let's see, I'll do maybe 2 trays of each, and that'll give me, you know, 12 of each. What you want to do is just plant these about a 1/2 inch deep. So if you go kind of a pinky up to your, you know, the top of your nail here, that's pretty close to 1/2 inch. Just put it in. I always put them pointed side up. I don't know if it really matters, but it seems like, to me, the logical way to put it in. So just put these in the center. You can do 2 in each little cell. But then what happens is you have to kind of sacrifice one to give the biggest one the chance, you know, the best chance that it has. And I always hate sacrificing one, so I'm just going to do 1 in each cell. That way I don't have to, you know, pick one that's going to actually meet its demise. And like I said, the other ones that I had germinated pretty well, so I'm pretty confident that these should do okay. All right, so there's the giant gray stripe, and I'm gonna put these over here, and I'm gonna mark them so I don't get them confused, because I'll have to kind of plant these at the back of the bed and put them, you know, in front of these here. Now let's open up these autumn beauties. Let's see what we got there. Oh wow, these are different. So these look like the other ones that oh wow, there's quite a bit in here for 89 cents. That's pretty impressive. You get a pretty decent handful, and not everyone is going to germinate, of course. I'm just going to kind of take one of the seeds of maybe different colors and just kind of put it into the center the same way I did the other one. All right, so now I have these giant popsicle sticks, otherwise known as tongue depressors. You can use kind of any marker you want. There's plastic ones that I have, but I'm just going to use these wood ones. They're kind of nice too. You can kind of stick them in the ground when you plant them next to them, and then over the course of time they just kind of biodegrade and rot away into the soil, which is pretty cool. And I will just kind of push that into the back there. Put these over here. Now, as far as watering, you can water the top. You can mist the top and keep it moist that way. The way I'm going to do it today, I have some water here, and I'm just going to pour some into this tray and kind of bottom water these. The water will wick up into the holes, and you know, you can see it come up to the top. And what I'll do is I'll let them soak here for probably half an hour, and that should be enough to get it to come up to the top. And then once it's, you know, all the way up, I'll take these out and dump any excess water in this tray out, and then I can just bring them inside, put them under the grow light, and leave them to germinate. Okay, so it's been about a half hour and it did not work. The top is still dry. I don't think it's really wicking up through, maybe a little bit, but not as much as I would want. So I think I'm just going to help it out. I have some water in here, and I'm just going to kind of lightly water just where the seeds were. I don't really need to water the whole thing right now. This one kind of got pushed up a little bit. As they go to germinate, you know, then I can water a little bit more in the whole cell. but right now I'm sort of just concerned with getting that seed a little bit wet. And actually what I might do is maybe just kind of lightly go over it until this gets all absorbed, and it will take a while. Okay, I think for now that's good. So I'm just going to take these out and dump out that water that's in the tray. And I will take these inside and put them under the light, and hopefully in about a week they'll germinate. So there you go, there's planting sunflowers in plastic 6-packs. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click that like button for me. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to see more videos. And until the next time, thanks for watching.